my field of expertise. So tell me, what do you want me to weigh in on in particular?
Well, I would like to be the one to educate you about it, so you can tell your constituents, so you can tell everybody.
Okay.
If you let me do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
I like it. I don't have every answer to every question. When I don't know one, I'll tell you that I don't know. So let's do it.
As the parent of a transgender child, I am terrified by what I see happening across the country. The rollback of LGBT rights, the rescission of Obama's executive order, which would have protected my child in his school. What is your position on protections that should be extended, not just to the LGBT community generally, but specifically to transgender children in Michigan?
I was furious and appalled when some of the advocates for amending the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act said, let's just move it without T. Let's just move the protections for LGB and make some progress and not include transgender people. I was appalled then, and I'm appalled of what we're seeing. As a mom, I cannot imagine how stressed out you are, much less how stressed out your child is. So I absolutely support full protections and rights for every child, every single child.
Yeah. My question is the protection of Planned Parenthood. Friend for the march, and my big fear is what the federal government is going to do, and that is eliminating federal funding for a program that's been around for 100 years and does a lot of good, and the least it does is provide abortions. It provides all kinds of wonderful health care, cancer screenings, and it's been around for 100 years. The fact that we're concerned and that we have to fight for this organization is just sad. My concern is if at the federal level, if they're going to cut funding and it all goes to the state, will we be able to maintain the Planned Parenthood programs that we have?
We're going to fight to. I can tell you that. And I just want to put in a plug for Planned Parenthood. I know you're all supporters, but be careful. You know, there are so many different groups fundraising off of Planned Parenthood.
Yes.
So when you get those solicitations, make sure that your contribution is actually going to Planned Parenthood and not some individual politician. I got 3 of them in the last week, and I know that that's an opportunity for people to make connections and build their their book of opportunity. But if you're donating based on a solicitation about Planned Parenthood, make sure it's going to Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
With the uncertainty with Medicaid expansion, what, if any, plans do you have to protect community mental health?
We are not doing nearly enough for the people who are suffering from mental health issues in Michigan. We are behind the times. This is a mental health question and mental health support and parity. I'm moving it into parity all the way. One of the things that I was very disappointed in the governor and the lieutenant governor was that they used an opportunity to expand coverage to autism, and I think that's a wonderful thing. But they missed an opportunity to extend it to everyone who's impacted by mental health. I'll tell you that in my family, depression is common amongst people in my family. I've been fortunate that it hasn't been an issue that I've confronted, but I have migraines. And I'll tell you, my pain is covered. But it's a very similar brain chemistry issue, and there's no reason that my migraine should be covered and my sister's depression isn't. And so, I've got just time for like 2 more questions, and then I gotta hit the road. Yes.
Piggyback off hers up on that illness, but I'm a big believer in supporting our military when they come back home and maybe get out of it. What are your plans to help increase to help that they deserve?
So this is about support for veterans and military families. I think that there's a lot of room for improvement from what the Snyder administration has done. I am not an expert, but I am talking to people who are in the department, but also veterans, so that we can see what connections we as a state can make for people so that they can come back and be productive. One of the things that in Ingham County, you know, I was the prosecutor in Ingham County for 6 months, and one of the, I did a ride-along, and one of the things that we confronted was a Purple Heart veteran from Iraq who desperately needed mental health services. And so to combine both of the questions that you've asked, we've got a lot of people in need that aren't getting the service that they need, but also should deserve. So these are two things that I'm acutely interested in figuring out how to solve. I don't know that I have all the answers today, but I'm working on it. I wish I could answer every question. I got to be in Auburn Hills shortly, so yes.
I just want to piggyback on your PCA response and mental health care.
I didn't know she was by my house.
Epidemic of right now. What is your PCA health care protection?
I'm gonna go. So nice to meet you. So nice to meet you.
Call me next week. Phone me. I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, but anytime.
Okay, so we're talking about opiate addiction. I'll tell you right now, Michigan is the epicenter of the opiate problem, especially in the Midwest. Our governor has done a lousy job of enacting and enforcing some common sense measures that the National Governors Association, a bipartisan group of governors, have gone forward with. The weirdest thing is that two of the leaders in this country are Chris Christie in New Jersey and Mike Pence in Indiana. And our governor has not even gone forward with the guidelines that the National Governors Association promotes. If we just did that, and that can be done just through the executive, we don't have to rely on the legislature to do that, we would have a measurable improvement in how we handle opiates and how many people get addicted in the first place in Michigan. And that's something that I wholeheartedly endorse and plan to accomplish immediately. I want to thank you all. I know everyone's pointing, but I want to thank you all. I really need to get moving, but I really appreciate your turning out today. This is, I mean, we saw this across the UP. Everywhere we've gone, we've seen groups of people. We've got to not just be here today, but be here every day up until this election, and that's the challenge. So if you've got advice for me, if you want to connect, I appreciate it, and this is the kind of shot in the arm that I, as a candidate, need to sustain this. So thank you so much.